Sweet. And I'm just going to copy those across as well. So you'll notice that this is eating my CPU. It's because whenever you have something animating in the editor every frame, it reloads the whole GUI, and so that's going to be quite unfortunate for someone with a slow computer like myself. Godot is actually really, really good for building low on a low powered machine. Okay, so yeah, there. And then each of these we just want to rotate them to 90, right? Cool. And then I'm just going to jump into the boost pad, and I'm going to turn off the plane and save, and that's going to stop our how would you say? Yeah, just stop that. Now I just realized there's something I don't like about this texture. I feel like these here shouldn't be this color, so I'm going to eyedrop this color here and just gradient fill. Let's make sure we've got contiguous on these so they feel more like arrows, because right now they just don't. Okay. And maybe put a yeah, actually I do like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to marquee one of these squares, right? And I'm just going to paste them behind so that it feels like those arrows are moving a little bit more, right? Like there's sort of a blur behind them, and then that's going to make it feel, I think, more like a boost pad. And honestly, I think I'm going to want to adjust the contrast and saturation of this. Maybe make it more green. Oh, I didn't mean to do it like that. Okay, that kind of works, doesn't it? And then grab this color here and also adjust that. A little bit more green, but without quite as much saturation. Okay, so I just want it to feel a little bit more pastel-y. Okay, and then we just need to add some hold on. So this is pointing down. Okay, that's fine. Alright, so we're going to attach a script to our boost pad. And before we do that, in fact, we can close that script. Before we do that, let's just make sure we've got our collision set up correctly. So our boost pad, right? We only really care about it. What do we care about? It's not really on any layer, but it's only really interested in colliding with the player, right? And we don't need it to be monitorable, I don't think. We just need it to be monitoring. So basically it's just monitoring for when the player enters it, and then we'll instantly just apply an impulse to any player that enters our body. which sounds really dirty, but I promise you it's not. Boost pad. Okay, so what are we doing? Well, first of all, we need an onReady variable because we need to set ourselves to play, right? On variable, and we will call this our sprite, and it just equals $animated sprite. And when the node's ready, we're just going to say that the sprite.playing, I would just say sprite.play. I think that's going to reset the frame as well to make sure that we don't accidentally screw up the animation frame. Okay, and oh yeah, we do need to add an additional line of code here. We're going to say var_c, which means we don't care about the return value. And we're going to connect ourself, the body entered signal. And we're going to call ourself on body entered, right? And we're going to go func. Jesus Christ. Typing like a loon today. And let's just copy that because I am obviously incapable of typing it out myself. I'm getting too excited about this like whole body entering fiasco. So what do we want to do? I think what we do is we just say like export a float var called boost amount, and we'll set it to about 100. I have no idea what it's going to be, so let's just use a nice round number here. And what we're going to do is say body if body.is in group, and we'll say the players group, right? And that's going to be a constant. We'll stick that at the top. Const players group equals players, right? And if it's in the group, then what we want to do, well, let's say if it's not in the group, return. And if it is, then we want to go body.apply central impulse, and it's going to be a vector 2 with a 0 on the x-axis and the boost amount. And it's just going to be rotated around our own rotation, right? Rotated by our own rotation. Cool. All right. I think that's almost enough to just get it working. So let's give it a quick little test-a-rooney. No, what happened? Animated sprite. Play. And what? Okay, no, not found. Animated sprite. Animated sprite. That's exactly what it's called. Oh shit, we put the script on the wrong object. That's why. Okay, so let's just make sure our boost pad script is on our boost pad, not our animated sprite. And then I'm going to right click and just detach the script here. Okay. So of course it couldn't find the animated sprite because it was the animated sprite. So if we load up level 2, oh for God's sake. So this should be in area 2D. Fantastic. Let's build. Alright, so let's load up level 2. And woof. Okay. 100 wasn't quite enough. Maybe 200. And for some reason it's on top of me. but the level should be on the bottom, right? So the boost pads always should be on the bottom, behind even the environment. The spawn point should be at the top. Okay, I don't. Shouldn't make a difference, right? So that area 2D, it kind of works, but it's not a constant. It's not really like a constant push, and the animation speed is way too slow. Also, I kind of want that to be an effect. So I'll show you what I mean, like a screen effect. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a material over this, a shader, canvas item material, and we'll just put an add, and no, we won't. We'll just put a multiply, and maybe change the visibility to half opacity also. Okay, and so okay, so that kind of works. The problem is when you're going backwards, you actually just get the boost applied to you, like you don't get it applied to you continuously. So I think the initial boost is roughly. Shit, I froze myself. I think the initial boost is maybe a little bit too slow. Let's see. Yeah. So I think what we want to do instead is flip around the code. And how would we do that? Okay, so we can just remove this code here, right? And we'll flip it round. So that means that this is no longer monitoring, but it is monitorable. And oh shit. Oh, we don't even need to do any of that. I forgot. This is built into Godot. So what we do is we just create space override. What was this? Override mode for gravity and damping calculation in this area, right? So we replace the gravity point, if true, point. Nope. Gravity distance. Okay, and the gravity vector is going to be down, but let's put it at like 10. And put linear dampening at 0 and put angular dampening kind of up. Right. So that's essentially going to change gravity for this section. Is that going to work? Whoa! So that was that's pushing in the wrong direction. First of all, I should maybe just get rid of our angular